Welcome back. Still watching Business Incorporated on Channels Television. We head to London now, London studio, where, thank God, we have Juliana right there. Juliana, good afternoon. Do help us to confirm or refute this story about more companies in the UK, perhaps looking at sponsoring more work visa for Nigerians. I wonder how true that is.
Yeah, good afternoon, Innie. A really important topic, of course, not just for those in Nigeria looking to come to the UK for work, but also for the UK government, right? Because we know that alongside the economy, immigration is a huge talking point. And I know that there has been a story doing its rounds in Nigeria. According to the articles I've read this morning, they appear to be attributed to the Nation publication, suggesting that perhaps there has been an expansion of the list of sponsored locations or institutions that will enable you to come into the UK to work. Now, it doesn't appear to be true at all. And I've got to say, you've got to be very, very careful with stories like this. There's so much misinformation and disinformation doing its rounds on social media. So unless you hear an update from the official Home Office website, or, of course, you're engaging a legal practitioner who is able to advise on your particular case, do not take these headlines seriously, because the only update we have had from the UK government in terms of what happens or what's happening to skilled workers or foreign workers came in December last year, where the then Home Secretary, now Shadow Home Secretary, favourite to be the Tory leader, was from James Cleverly, basically increasing the salary threshold to, I believe, almost £40,000 for a skilled worker, and also changing the nature of how many dependents you can bring into the country when you choose to study here. Since then, there has been no official update, and all of those changes came into implementation from the 1st of April. Again, anybody who is fully aware of how the immigration system works in the UK, we typically have updates once, maybe twice a year that are implemented at the beginning of the fiscal year, which is April. So no indication that that has changed. Now, in terms of talking about the list of sponsored work locations, perhaps there has been an amendment or a chop and change to that, but there has been no official announcement. And it comes actually at quite an important time, Minnie, because just last week, I'm not sure if we were able to speak about it on air, but we did have official data from the Office for National Statistics, who, of course, keep a forensic eye on immigration figures in the UK. And they did announce that due to some of the plans that were implemented by James Cleverly and his predecessor, Suella Braverman, that the number of foreign workers coming into the UK, particularly working in social and the healthcare sector, has dropped dramatically. I believe numbers are down about 100,000. For some Tory supporters, for some individuals who support low immigration, this was really good news. And I think the Conservative Party have tried to take all of the credit for that. But then, of course, we know that the social health and social care in the UK is incredibly understaffed. Lots of the workers, particularly coming from Nigeria, who come to the UK for that work, are well overqualified, contribute significantly to the economy. So, you know, it's a double-edged sword here. Yes, the UK government are trying to appease those to the right. We saw protests, didn't we? Really dangerous protests a couple of weeks ago. They want to assure the local indigenous community that jobs are for them. But on the other hand, if locals in the UK don't want to do these jobs, who are going to do it, particularly if they're making it so hard? But just to go back to the top of what we were discussing, there has been no official announcement from the UK government about expanding foreign visa credentials for anybody, but particularly those in Nigeria. So if you are reading these headlines, the only thing you need to do is Google. Just Google Home Office, and then you will see that there has been no update. That's incredibly important, because we know that people are often
very
used
important,
and abused
Juliana,
when it comes to immigration advice.
Yeah, thank you for that update. That was really important because that story is making the rounds here in Nigeria, and we do not want, individuals to fall prey, to those naughty individuals. Well, let's look at the markets there in the UK. What color is it this afternoon?
The colour is green, shall we say. The FTSE is in tip-top shape and intraday. This is despite the fact that it's a short week. Of course, it was bank holiday yesterday, which is why you didn't see us here in London. But I suppose markets perhaps haven't reacted to a statement that was delivered this morning by the UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, warning that the budget, which we're anticipating to come early October by the first female Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, is going to be painful. And I quote Sir Keir Starmer in that term. He said it's going to be painful. This is, of course, all down to that black hole that was discovered when she opened the coffers to see that nothing was there. Not only was there no money there, the government had way overspent. So now the Labour government is saying that, all of the tax hikes or whatever we're going to anticipate in that budget are basically at the fault of the Conservatives. Of course, they completely deny that. That hasn't been reflected on the numbers at intraday, but surely I'm sure markets are going to pick that up later today at close of business. But let's have a look at those numbers then. The all-share is up 0.10%. The FTSE 100, the blue chip, up 0.14%. The FTSE 250, the domestic market, down though at 0.12%. In the currencies market, the British pound is trading up against the US dollar by 0.30%, up 2 against the euro by 0.30%, and up against the Japanese yen by 0.42% at intraday.
Thank you so much, Juliana, for that.